Hi, and thank you for tuning in to the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. We are on Exodus chapter 35 today, encouraging you to read through that on your own. Interesting how this correlates back to chapter 31, which we talked about earlier this week on Monday. If you joined me then, I talked about a portion of that chapter that described God giving specific talents, abilities, skills to a specific person while also filling them with the Spirit of God, so that he could do the tasks that God had called him to do. And what I thought was so interesting is that the skills were in craftsmanship. He had given him abilities to build, to create, to probably even come up with the ideas and then put them into action, and the abilities and skills to do so. It was so cool. We talked about how has God skilled and gifted you, and for what purpose has he skilled and gifted you. Well, I want to read a portion of chapter 35 that mimics that first passage almost verbatim, says the exact same thing, except for one specific thing that I noticed. It's going to be in chapter 35, beginning in verse 30. It says, "Then Moses said to the Israelites, 'See, the Lord has chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and he has filled him with the Spirit of God, with skill, ability, and knowledge in all kinds of crafts, to make artistic designs, to work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stone, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of artistic craftsmanship.'" I'm going to pause there. It's practically word for word, verbatim from chapter 31. So why is he repeating himself? Well, he goes on. Verse 34, "And he has given him," this is God, "and he has given both him and Aholiab, son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan, the ability to teach others. He has filled them with the skill to do all kinds of work as craftsmen, designers, embroiderers in blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen, and weavers, of all of them master craftsmen and designers." So Bezalel and Aholiab and every skilled person to whom the Lord has given skill and ability to know how to carry out all the work of constructing the sanctuary are to do the work just as the Lord has commanded. So cool. I love this. So this is what I want to just end with this week. Did you catch that? Not only did he skill them, not only did he give them gifts and talents and abilities to do this craftsmanship, which was so cool, for a specific purpose of building the temple and beautifying the tabernacle, but it says there that he also gave them the ability, the opportunity, I dare say, to teach others. I want to take what we talked about on Monday and take it a step further. Great if you have taken the time, I hope you have, to prayerfully consider how God has gifted you. I pray that you took it a step further and said, okay, God, how can I use those gifts and talents for you, with you, through you? Yes, yes, yes. And hopefully many of you already are. Hopefully many of you are serving in your church, in your community, your family, using your gifts in your workplace and in the business marketplace of our community, living out your faith in the secular and in the spiritual. Yes, 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 we need everyone. But let's see what God said here. He also gave them the giftings and the opportunities to teach others. Every single one of us can be an encourager, and every single one of us can be a mentor. Have you ever considered taking someone alongside you with maybe similar gifts and talents, passions and purposes, and talking to them and encouraging them like you already have to use those things for God? Pastor Sarah, what might that look like? Great question. Maybe you serve at church. At our church, we have tons of areas. We have an incredible kids department, teen department. We have a fit team that does all of our first impressions, our worship and production, and so many others behind the scenes, leading small groups, facilitating care projects, tons of ways that people are using in practical ways their gifts and talents for God. Maybe you serve at our church, your church, another church. Have you ever considered inviting someone to serve alongside you? Maybe you're a parent of a teenager. How are you encouraging them to use their gifts and talents for God? Maybe you have a friend who's also skilled in handiwork. Just this past week at our church, as our cafe has been being renovated, we've been seeing people coming in using their craftsmanship skills, inviting others to come alongside. So many hands make the labor light. If you're skilled at your workplace and you're really doing it to honor the Lord, are you generous with those giftings in training and mentoring and encouraging others alongside you to do the same? Think today about how you can not only use and be used with the gifts and talents, but how can you also Look for opportunities where God will give you to train and encourage others to do the same. Let's take some time to think about that today. Hey, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you again on Monday for another daily dose for spiritual growth.